Uncle Clint says, we are grinders and scrappers. Hollywood is as brutal as it is glamorous, and the only way to survive is through discipline and sticking together. That's something my grandmother, an ultimate role model, instilled in all of us. My grandmother's vision and belief in what was possible for our family, as well as her joie de vivre, are what made it all possible. I never once heard her complain, despite enduring many real ailments and challenges that would have warranted more than a little griping on her part. Her relationship with my grandfather was the picture of partnership and teamwork, setting an example for the kind of symbiotic relationship I wanted in my own life. Like my father, uncle, and grandparents, I too am a storyteller, a privilege I also never take for granted. And while much of my family is connected to Hollywood, we are fortified by the grounded, down-to-earth, Midwestern Zen values and life habits my grandparents set for us. As I read through the pages of this book, I expected familiar stories. But before long, I found myself on a surprising adventure. To hear the tale of my grandparents through the words of their two boys and get a peek into their spectacular and unique childhoods, navigating the wilds of the film and TV industry in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s transported me. These pages capture a turning point in the entertainment industry, as told through the personal lens of one family. If I were to tell the story of my life, it wouldn't start with me. My story and identity are the culmination of several generations, starting with my grandparents. They continue to inspire me and inform my own path. My siblings and I want to be better people, not to course correct the legacy, but to live up to it. The bar is high, and we don't want to fall short. When I was 6, we were living in England as my young father prepared to shoot Willow, and my mom prepared to give birth to my brother Reed. We have a home video that shows my dad expressing concern that these two momentous events were happening simultaneously. Movies, babies. Movies, babies. He then asked me to predict the day Reed would be born, which I did with eerie accuracy. This dynamic of a concerned, involved father including his children in these family discussions was similar to how his parents brought their boys into the fold. Granddad and Grandma Jean showed him it was possible to grow up on a movie set and have a childhood. They even put my dad in a crib while they were performing summer stock, attending to him between scenes. Unconventional? Sure, but inclusive and family-centric nonetheless. Like his own parents, my dad protected us from the craziness, while still giving us a first-hand look at the circus. In my documentary feature directorial debut, Dads, I too was drawn to the subject of family. I hoped to interview an expecting father, and as luck would have it, my brother and his wife were about to have their first baby. I remember Dad expressing to me several times over the years that his greatest fear was not measuring up to his own father as a parent. I shared this memory with Reed while filming, and surprised, he replied, "He said that? That's my biggest worry, not living up to Dad." And so, the tradition continues.
Introduction. Ron. As I write this, I'm sitting in a car in Queensland, Australia, getting driven to the set to begin the second week of shooting on my 26th feature film as a director. I'm multitasking, jotting down notes for this book while framing shots in my head and glancing at the call sheet to remind myself of the work that's scheduled for today. Now, I've been looking at call sheets in the back seat of a car since the 1980s. But this time, I really look. My name appears in 3 different places: director, producer, co-founder of Imagine Entertainment. Ron Howard. That's me. I've never been one to take for granted the eventful life